Live.
Due to some violent content, parental discretion is advised.
That's all I got. I wish you would stay up. I honestly wish you would. God, I look disgusting. Well. Is that my camera? Is that the camera I get? I guess. Where's the other one? This one? Oh, no, the news one. This one. Oh, well, sorry, America. That's what you get.
I don't know what this thing is. Greg gets a strip show, dance show.
Work there, dude.
Welcome to
DeaconLive.
DeaconLive.
Live.
Welcome back, guys. On today's show, what TV stations or why are TV stations refusing to broadcast after dark? And don't use your PTO just yet until you hear this Christmas hack. And also, Matt Damon's company gave $10 million of Bitcoin to a customer by mistake. And is global warming giving you kidney stones? All this and much, much more will be discussed here on DeaconLive. How are you? How are things? How are things going with you? Are you doing okay? Are you getting along out there in this wide world of ours? I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay for now. When I say for now, well, first of all, I came up here with my tank top on, and I'm looking at myself in the camera. And don't forget, for every podcast we do, we have a matching video. You can see us here in the studio. Hello, how are you? And then when I start talking about articles and any videos and stuff that goes in tandem with here on the show, you can watch us on the YouTube channel as well and see all those stories as they happen in real time as I'm talking about them. Now, what happened is I came up here with my red tank top on. I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to do anything exciting. I'm just going to put this red tank top on and enjoy myself and relax. And I saw myself on the camera. I'm like, oof, God almighty. You put some clothes on, kid. You're like a little man baby sitting here in the studio. When I say man baby, I just shaved off my beard, sort of. I left the stubble here so I don't look like a total baby face. So if you're looking at me here on the camera, yep, I shaved and kind of just cut the goatee down a little bit. My little gobbler hider up underneath my chin. So that's where I'm at. Now, another place that I'm at right now is we had, as you guys know, my dad lives here on our property, and we broadcast just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, beautiful little town we like to call Marshville. We sit on about 22 some odd acres. We have chickens, ducks, goats, cattle, horses for the main part, and then more and more stuff goes on from there. Our crops are done for this year. I need to plow them down, till them up, and then we'll start again for fall here in the next couple weeks. We got to seed the lawn. We have to seed the pastures. There's a lot of stuff going on here. And part of a lot of stuff going on here is we were going to, or are still in the process of going to build my dad a tiny home on the backside of the property. Well, in order to do that, we've looked at all the different ins and outs and how to cheat the system so we don't have to have a septic tank down there, and how can we get water down there because it's in the back corner of the property. So we just bit the bullet and said, you know what, we're going to have the Union County Environmental come out and tell us if we can have a septic tank here or not. That's the first start. That's where the bang goes go, or the go goes bang. You figure it out. And so I got a message from Union County in an email because I'm taking care of all this stuff. My dad, I don't want him doing it because it's our property, but he's, funding his building for the house. And I said, Dad, I'll take care of all the technical stuff. Get an email from him. Hey, everything looks good. You have an appointment for X date. If you have any questions, email this guy. This is the guy coming out to your property. All right, no problem. And part of the instructions said you must have a certified, I love that part, certified backhoe driver or bobcat driver to dig whatever hole that they can do the testing on. And I emailed them and I said, hey, I've got a tractor. I've got a, big, huge Kubota tractor. I've got a huge, 60-inch bucket on the front of it. It can move some dirt. Can I use this instead of hiring a contractor guy and paying him double fee for him coming out here and then installing the septic tank later? Nothing. Zippo, no answer, no nothing. So finally, the guy shows up on Friday. I say finally. He shows up, this past Monday. No problem. Drove all the way down to the backside of the property. He's kind of standing around telling me, young guy, and I say young guy, probably mid-30s, maybe out of college, maybe been doing this for maybe 10 years, maybe 5-6 years. He looks kind of green still. Not real confident in his answers to my questions, but still, he's there That's what he's there for. I need his approval to get this done. So I go, all right, so he's going through the whole thing. I said, all right, well, let's get started. All right, do you have a something to dig a hole in the dirt with? I'm like, do you need like a shovel or something? What do you need? He's like, no, I need to dig a 4-foot hole. And I go, well, I sent you an email. We went round in circles, whether he got it or not. I showed him my email on my phone. I'm like, hey, this is you. And he's like, yeah, I don't know why I didn't get it. I said, well, I've got a tractor. No, that won't dig deep enough. I'm like, thanks, guy. Slapping the dick on that one. He goes, no, it needs to be something that, gets a nice bucket, like a backhoe. And so he said, I'll come out. We'll reschedule this and we'll try it again. So my dad's down there listening to all this. And my dad was excited. I mean, my dad's the type of guy, if he's got an appointment at 7 o'clock in the morning and it's like 30 minutes away, he's up, showered, out the door by 5:30 in the morning. That type guy. And he'll sit in the parking lot for 2 hours so he doesn't miss his appointment. He has the luxury of doing that. So sure enough, this morning, I'm sure he was sitting on the back porch. Actually, I know he was sitting on the back porch this morning waiting for the inspector to come up. So we get up at, my dad gets up at like 5. We get up at like 7. And, have our coffee and stuff. And sure enough, he's sitting back there and he's playing with his phone. I'm like, you ready for the guy? He's like, yep, waiting for him. I'm like, okay, 2 hours you're going to be out here. Enjoy yourself. Guy shows up. He's all excited. Mildly, like old man, like, as exciting as a 76-year-old man can be about getting a hole dug to have a tank put in to hold his poop. I mean, that's as exciting as he can go. But he's seeing the big picture. He's seeing the whole house needs to be built, and he's going to have his quote-unquote independence. So the guy shows up, of course. We'll have to reschedule. I'm like, hey, can we do this as soon as possible? My dad wants to get this ball rolling. He's like, yeah, no problem. I'll see what my availability is when I get back to the office. And luckily enough, I do another podcast called Equine Dynamics with Mike Stein, and it's all about horses and all about farrier and the biomechanics of a horse and, how a horse moves and all that stuff. So if you're interested in that, you can check that out as well. That's myself hosting it. Mike Stein, he's the main professional doing this, and he kind of gives his details and stuff. That's Equine Dynamics with Mike Stein over on iHeartRadio as well. Mike Stein knows a guy who installs septic tanks. I'm like, great. Call him up. Hey, feel like digging a hole? When do you need it? I don't know, Friday? I can be there. So great. I've got the hole digger coming over. Got to be careful how I say that word real fast. And the Union County environmental guy is going to be here. He said, yeah, I'm able to come on Friday. Great. We got everyone lined up, ready to go for this Friday. Now, if all things go according to plan, within 4 months' time, we should have, once the ground's broken and they dig the hole for the septic tank to see if it's going to hold water or drain water. I don't know how they do it here in North Carolina. It's confusing. I've had septic tanks in Florida. All you do is you just dig a hole, put old dirt in from another place that's got different bacteria. Boom, you're done, covered up. You're on your way. North Carolina is, of course, a little bit different. But the worst case scenario, if something happens and the place won't perk back there, what do I do now? What are my options? What is my dad's options? Because I'm sure he doesn't want to live in the house here with my wife and I. He always feels like he's intruding. He's not, I don't want to say not part of the family, but this is our home and we've invited him to stay in our home while this happens, while we get the house built. Now this is back in March and we're going into September now. Well, actually we are in September now. And so I don't know if my dad's getting frustrated or what the options are, but so the options, in my mind, the options are you can stay here and he'll have to, do you charge him rent? He is using washer, using the dryer, he's using, all the stuff like a roommate would be. Or does he go out and find himself some kind of, not assisted living, but an apartment or some kind of retirement community that he lives in? So I don't know, but hopefully, fingers crossed, everything will go great. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Believe me, it'll be fine. They'll dig the hole. They'll say, yes, you can put this house here. No problem. Here's your permit. See you later. So once we get that permitted, then we'll start, pouring the slab. running the water down there and start getting all the other all the outside contractors lined up, and we'll get him going. I know he's excited. He's kind of walking around. He's like that kid going out to the mailbox looking for a letter from overseas or something from a loved one. He looks in there and it's not in there. He closes it and makes a slow walk back to the house. Poor me. Nobody loves me. All right, guys, stick around. We got a big show to get into, so stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Make sure you follow us on all your social networks, and the way you do that is go over to Prophet Radio, Prophet Radio. Click on the social contacts, and you can see all the places that we are located. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram. It's just easier just to click on those, and rather than going out there and typing all that stuff in, just go there, and you can find that. All our social networks and all the different platforms you can find the Deacon Live podcast on. And also, don't forget, while you're over there, we'd love to hear from you. And the way you can be part of the show, we'd love to hear from each and every one of you. The way you do that is at the bottom of the page is a little blue bar, a little blue tab. It says Be Heard. It's got a little microphone next to it. Click on that. Opens up a microphone on whatever. Opens up a small little inner screen, little window. Click on that and record a message. Comes right to our inbox, and we'll play it on this very podcast, or we'll play it on the very next podcast as well. You can ask us anything, any questions or anything, or you just like to comment on the show, and we'll play it on the very next podcast. And while you're there, get yourself some free stuff as well. Now, speaking of free stuff, my wife and I, we like to attend this one authentic Mexican restaurant that's down the road from us, and they always give you chips and salsa, and the salsa comes in those little plastic, cheap, like elementary school grade plastic dishes, because they know they're going to lose a whole lot. You know why? Because I take them. That's why. I take the little ramekins as much as I can, because I don't want when I get my to-go order and you put your chips in there, if you put your salsa in there, the salsa is going to wet all the chips and you got soggy salsaria chips. So I always steal the ramekins. I got like 4 or 5 of them up in the cabinets. It's the price you pay for having a restaurant. Well, there's a video showing this woman who has stolen so many ramekins, the video has gone viral. A TikTok is making the rounds that shows a woman who is definitely very capable of serving a banquet of sauces in the comfort of her own home. On Friday, Twitter user Bone Carrier showed a now deleted TikTok. Oh, I'm going to see if I can find it. Of a woman showing off her ramekin haul as she collected from various restaurants. In the video, which has been viewed over 4.7 million times on Twitter, the woman responds to a TikTok user from a TikTok user named Ant-Man World, where he scolds the guests who put ramekins in their to-go boxes. I'm sorry, Ant-Man World, but that's what it do. So if you want to see this video, I'll switch screens here, camera 4, and you can see this video, and we can all be friends. So here we go. Let me turn this up. Here we go. Oh, it's just a video. To all the guests that put on their to-go boxes.
Shared with me about 5 times now, so I figured I'd give the people what they want. Get ready, it's a lot. Okay.
Here she goes. Oh, here's the video. Now, come on. All right, the little metal ones. These are like the Corningware ones. They're not the cheap ones that I would steal. There's the little plastic ones. These are all nice. Right, that's a ceramic one.
Hibachi and sushi ensemble, including the spoon.
Yeah, the one that's got the little soup spoon for your, what is it, the ginger soup, and where it has the white sauce and then the other sauce on the side. It's got the split ramekin, and everyone just goes white sauce. You just give me all white sauce. They should just ban the other one. So and some of these bowls, come on, some of these ramekins are huge. They're like soup bowls that she's showing.
Thank you, Applebee's.
Applebee bowls. Some more ceramic bowls. That's a whole, hold on. That is a whole, what they call in the business, a boat. Now, have you ever seen, if you've gone to Olive Garden and got the soup, salad, and breadsticks, and they bring the Alfredo sauce? You know that boat that they put it? That's what the Alfredo sauce is called, a boat. This is 3 times as big. You can eat a whole bowl of cereal with that ramekin. After certain,
This was my favorite.
her favorite one's the smallest one out of all of them. I don't know why. Well, there you go. So she's showing all the ramekins and stuff. And I will admit, mine is not as bad as that, but it is. I think I've got like 5 of they're probably like 3-inch in diameter, maybe, 1.5 inches tall. They're small. They're plastic. You know, elementary school trays were made out of. Not the trays, but the actual prison plates. That's what this looks like, or what I've got. I've got nothing compared to her, so don't judge me, judge her. Now, right now, I say right now, my wife and I, every morning when we get up, one of the first things we always ask each other is, how did you sleep? Because that's going to give you like the litmus test of how the day is going to go. So I always go, how'd you sleep? Sometimes good, sometimes bad. She always asks me, how'd you sleep? And most of mine are like pretty good, except for, I wake up at 4 o'clock, do the nightly walk in the dark to pee and then come back to bed. But for the most part, I do sleep good. I take, a couple melatonins, I take a couple Advil PMs just to kind of take that urge off or the tenseness off so I can relax and go to sleep. Now, what they're saying right now is for people that are having a hard time going to sleep is wearing socks to bed can help you sleep better. Fact or fiction? Well, let's find out. If you sleep in the same bed with someone, you're likely to have noticed their specific preference, whether they like the sheets tucked under the foot of the bed or what kind of pajamas they like to sleep in, if any. I'm sorry, I go totally nude. For all our listeners out there, I know that's a thought in itself. And I can't wear socks in bed. I can't wear anything in bed. I like all my sheets and stuff tucked underneath my legs. Whether you wear socks or go barefoot in bed. In the case of socks, we have found that people that tend to dig their heels in convincingly were simply can fall asleep with or without socks on. You're either all in or you're all out when it comes to socks at night. The case for sleeping with socks. There are many different benefits of wearing socks to bed, explains Dr. Mar DeCarlo, author and founder of the International Parenting of Health Institute Association and Parental Sleep. Can we shorten up the title a little bit more? Socks can help people fall asleep faster and stay asleep a lot longer because of the process called distal vasodilation. There you go. Changes in the skin temperature can cause an affectability to initiate sleep and maintain sleep. A 2007 study found that wearing socks in bed has shown to increase circulation and blood flow to the feet, DeCarlo said. That can help lower the body's core temperature, signaling the brain at the time. Also signaling the brain that it's time for bed. Hey, you got your socks on. So that doesn't make any sense. You wear socks all day long and then, okay, you put socks on before you go to bed. Your brain's going to think it's time to... When socks come off, my brain goes, it is now time to relax, is what my brain's saying. Other studies approved a point further. One study involving a small number of subjects found that young men wearing socks fall asleep 7.5 minutes faster and sleep 32 minutes longer and woke up 7.5 times less often than not wearing socks. Now, what I wear to bed, of course, I go all natural, but what I do have is a weighted blanket. And I love that weighted blanket because I don't have to worry about the sheets moving. Like if I move my legs and accidentally the sheet will fall off or the sheet will slide. Now, weighted blankets are traditionally smaller. Mine is about 3 foot wide by about 5 foot wide. It only covers the lower half of my body. And I sleep like a baby with that. Does a couple things. It doesn't get hot. Oh, it gets hot. No, it doesn't. It doesn't get hot under there. But when it's cold out, it does maintain your body's temperature up underneath it. I don't know why it doesn't get hot during the summer months. Maybe because we have the AC on 62. Maybe that's just me. Now, here's another remedy for people that can't get to sleep at night. And this, I've heard both ends of this. Now, I try to eat about 2 hours before I go to bed. And my wife, because of the hours that she works, tends to eat probably 30 minutes before. I mean, she's literally laying in bed with her little TV tray on her legs there and watching TV right before she goes to bed. Now she does a little screen time and, plays a little video games on her tablet, little touchscreen stuff, just kind of unwind her mind. But she eats right before she goes to bed. So does eating before bed stop you from waking up in the middle of the night? Let's see if this sleep hack goes viral. So what's happening is a recent TikTok is gaining traction for people for the possibility solutions that offer people with common sleep problems, waking up in the middle of the night and not being able to fall back asleep faster. So listen to this. In this video, Again, another doctor of chiropractic. Oh, okay. So he's not a real doctor. Scott Breyer of DC. I'm sorry. He is a DC. He's not from DC. He is American Chiropractor Neurological Board. Fancy words that mean nothing. Hypothesized that 2 adrenaline hormones may be behind waking up in the middle of the night and not being able to fall back asleep. Cortisol and adrenaline. Oh, I know those two. All right, so here we go. If you want to see this video, make sure we're on the right screen still. So here we go. Here is what he's saying that we need to do to eat right before we go to sleep.
So if you're a person that has no issues falling asleep, but staying asleep is the bigger issue, and I'm not talking about getting up and going to the bathroom in the middle of the night and then falling back asleep. I'm talking if you're one that actually wakes up in between the hours of like 2 to 4 a.m. and sometimes you're up for 20, 30 minutes, 2 hours. Oftentimes this can be due to an imbalance between 2 adrenal hormones, one of them being cortisol and then the other being adrenaline. Now, cortisol's main job is to actually regulate blood sugar, but it's also responsive in individuals that are under stress. So classically, when we're asleep, that's the longest that we're going to go without eating, and all throughout the night, cortisol should start to become higher and higher and peaks first thing in the morning. The problem is that if individuals have been under stress, sometimes that cortisol rhythm becomes blunted and flat, and now people have to rely on this secondary compensatory mechanism. So in the middle of the night, normally when they should have cortisol released, they'll have adrenaline that gets released, and adrenaline is a huge central nervous system stimulant. So one of the things that you can actually do for a couple of weeks, and I know this is going to sound counterintuitive, is to actually eat very close to bed, particularly something that's heavy in protein and fat, and then also eat first thing in the morning. You can take a load off of the demand for blood sugar regulation, and over time, people can actually start sleeping soundly throughout the night.
That's what I do. That's why I look the way I do now. I eat right before I go to bed, and I eat right when I wake up. Eating's not a problem. Staying asleep is the problem. I don't know. If that makes sense to you, maybe that's what you're dealing with as far as waking up 4 or 5 times in the middle of the night. Maybe change your eating habits. Maybe that's what he's talking about to help you. All right, guys, when we come back, I'm going to help you get some more free food. How about that? You like some more free food right before you go to bed, right? Let's eat some chicken wings. Stick around. You listen to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. You want something for free? Of course you do. Everyone wants something for free, and the way you can get yours is to go over to prophetradio.com, Prophet Radio. Click on free swag. We'll send you out some magnets. We send you out some stickers. We have some buttons. We have a whole bunch of stuff that we can give you. Fill out that little form there. Believe me, I'm not going to do anything with your email address. I just need a place to send it. Some kind of physical address that I can send it out to you. And fill that out, and we'll send you out some stuff just to say thank you for listening to the show, and thanks for being a part of the show as well. And don't forget, while you're over there, we'd love to hear from you. You can be part of the show. You can jump right on the air with us in real time as we're talking here on the program. Fill out that little form. Go to where it says Be Heard. Click on that. Opens up a microphone. It's just for one-time thing. Just opens up the microphone, speak right into your tablet, your PC, your smart device, wherever you're listening to us at. Leave us a message. It comes right to our inbox, and we'll play it on the very next podcast as well. Now, we were talking about eating right before you go to bed. Well, nothing says a good night's sleep like free food, right? Right now, Wingstop is giving away free chicken sandwiches, and here's how to get yours. All the way up till September 5th. So you have a couple days left. Wingstop wants to help you leave your relationship and go with your current to-go chicken sandwiches. The popular wing restaurant announced its addition of its new chicken sandwiches to the Wingstop menu on Tuesday. Haven't we been dealing with the chicken sandwiches for the last 3 years? Don't they know that chicken nuggets are the new battleground? But I guess they're a day late and a dollar short. They're introducing their new chicken sandwich to the Wingstop menu this past Tuesday. The sandwich, which has 12 different flavors, such as lemon pepper, OG hot kick. I've never eaten there, so I don't know these. Mango habanero heat, hickory barbecue, and many, many more. Wingstop, those guys, will offer 100,000 of their new chicken sandwiches for free to fans who split from their current chicken sandwich to commit to finding a new favorite, according to the news released this past week. How to get yours? To get your free chicken sandwich, visit www. No one needs to say that anymore. Just go to chickensandwichsplit.com, click on the giant breakup button, and enter the screen at the center. Sorry, I'm reading 15 things at the same time. Breakup button at the center of the screen, and you will be prompted for your name and zip code and phone number. So let's try it. Here we go. Sorry. What? You son of a bitch. This just happened Tuesday. Sorry, our 100,000 free sandwiches flew off the shelf, but there's plenty more flavor. That bullshit. When they win something, don't they have to post everyone? That's bullshit. Well, don't go to Wingstop. No, go to Wingstop. They got good food. Good food. I've eaten there before. Back in Florida. Oh, I didn't mean to hit that. Son of a bitch. All right, so what did they do out there in California? They said that they were going to ban all gasoline cars by 2035, and then they said, make sure you're charging your electric cars, and then the power grid went bad and all this other stuff. California's having a hard time. They say they're forward thinking, but they are very, very reverse engineering here. And when I say reverse, I mean going backwards is what I'm saying. So right now, I don't want that story. I guess I couldn't wait long enough. Toyota right now is test driving the Sonata Woodland. This is what I'm doing, yep. The Toyota 22 Sonata Woodland is the first minivan designed with some off-road capabilities. So here's what Fox News auto editor Gary, fuck him, I'm not giving him any credit. I'm reading the goddamn thing. If he wants to play it, he can read himself. Toyota is developing a way for you to hitch a ride without having a hitch. Automakers are testing the system that allows one vehicle to quote-unquote tow another vehicle without physically connecting between the two. So all you people out there that can't back that ass up and get the trailer hitch right on the tongue, this is for you. The system is being tested with the Toyota Sonata minivans, which are to be fitted with a wireless communication system that lets the trailing vehicle follow the lead one without any interaction from its driver. Toyota says that as much of the equipment needed is already present in the vehicles. They only have to add a few extra components to make it viable for the production. If the software development is the software development is the key to the operation. The vehicles are being kept in safe distance in early low-speed testing, but the team behind it hopefully closes the gap to increase the speeds as it evolves. So right now, I guess you can only go 10 miles an hour before the thing kind of detaches. I don't know if it's like a magnet or anything, but it's going to be a hitchless system. Toyota Engineering manufacturer says that customers could use it to create guides, convoys of several vehicles that are heading in the same direction, or for some in tow, an occupied vehicle, like having if you got an RV, you can have a car behind you. And the sensors of the vehicles would monitor the surrounding traffic to help avoid collisions. Well, we know how that goes, do we not? But what if you're new? I mean, a lot of people still don't know or are not used to the autonomous vehicles. And they pull up next to a vehicle that the person's sleeping in a thing, but the car's driving itself. Now we got people driving in a car and an absolutely car behind them or something behind them with absolutely no connection to the vehicle in front of them is driving down the road and there's nobody in that vehicle. They're going to freak. My dad is going to freak out. God damn. What the hell is that? Septic tank. So there you go. Now, something I know that happened when my dad was a younger kid is, believe it or not, TV didn't last all day long. At certain times during the night, they would go off air because they figured the working class at the time, there was no 24-hour shopping malls, there was no 24-hour restaurants, there was nothing that was 24 hours. The whole entire planet, or the whole entire United States in certain locations, depending on the time zone, would physically shut down and go to bed. So right now, NBC might no longer is thinking about not airing any shows past 10 o'clock because of this. and when I say because of this, is because of the way America digests their viewing habits. NBC is considering slashing its primetime lineup by an hour, meaning that it might not air any new episodes of its shows after 10 p.m. for much longer. According to Variety, the network may soon be relinquishing its late night slots to local affiliates and considerations that they have reportedly been toying with for the last decade. Last decade they've been trying to do this. Considering sources to the publications that if a network were to go through what the insider sources told publications that if the network were to go through with this move, it wouldn't be a cost-cutting measure or lead to less programming. Instead, fucking ad right there in the middle, right in the goddamn middle. Instead, NBC is looking to best utilize the broadcast ban in relationship for affiliates versus its streaming and cable options, which may lead to some NBC series being slotted into different air times and being rehomed over on Peacock or possibly even canceled. So while NBC is a number one network, says you, I mean, there's only 3. Is there 4? Oh, there's 4. But they ain't got shit on them. They're dumping it over on the streaming service. We are always looking for strategies to ensure our broadcasting business remains strong as possible. As a company, our advantage lies in the ability to prove our audiences with the content of love across the broadcast, cable, and streaming networks. So there you go. They're going to cut showing new shows after 10 o'clock. I didn't know they were showing new shows after 10 o'clock, but you know what that's going to do? That's going to kill the late night host. What's his name? Jimmy Fallon, and well, Conan's not on anymore. And the other, I don't even know the other late guys anymore. Late night with Seth Meyers and a couple other people. Because they do a live show at 11 o'clock at night. Well, I say a live show, recorded live in front of studio audience. Remember that slogan? All right, guys, when we come back, we got a little bit more to get into. 25 years we're celebrating Kibble. And it's not what you think. And I'll dive in that story here when we come back. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Don't forget, for every podcast we do, I have a matching video, and you can join us by doing that. By doing what? By going over to a YouTube channel, search for Deacon Live Podcast, and you can see us here in the studio. Hi, and you can see all these articles and stuff as we're talking about them live here on my monitor and real time as we're talking about it here on the show. And don't forget, while you're over at ProphetRadio.com, get yourself something for free. We'll send you out some magnets, some stickers, and all that stuff that says thank you for listening to us and being a part of the show as well. Now, one hot dog manufacturer that I cannot stand is Oscar Mayer. For some reason, their packaging, that yellow with the red writing, to me, just looks like plastic. Because I think the yellow mustard things that you have at the restaurants that squirts out the mustard, that yellow container, and the red lettering reminds me of the ketchup. So when I see the logo for Oscar Mayer, I'm sorry. Everything that they make reminds me of just having rubber synthetic food. Well, something else that Oscar Mayer is trying to get you to buy into is something called, it's something called the cold dog. Yep, the cold dog. And I'm going to switch over to camera 4 so you guys can see this in real time as we're talking about it here on the show. So this is the cold dog. So this young lady dressed in yellow with a red background. Ketchup and mustard, right?
Stupid genius. Stupid genius. The cold dog. Stupid genius.
Stupid.
Stupid genius.
Stupid. Stupid. So what they're doing is, let's see, start at the beginning of this article. The cold dog has both refreshing and smoky autonomous tones of, autonomous, I'm sorry. The cold dog has both refreshing and smoky tones, according to CNN. Of course, it is topped with a nice mustard swirl. Ice cream dog, not corn dogs, just regular hot dogs. If you're not sure the swirl tastes like mustard, or if you're just for visual purposes, you'll probably already made up your mind and willing to try this, right? I don't know. I don't think I will. The cold dog is available at select Pop Bar locations for just $2 a dog while supplies last. Well, you're going to have some leftovers. You're going to send those to someone else. So what they're doing is they have this, it's a frozen hot dog flavored ice cream, and then it's got like this little swirl of mustard looking on it. So I'm gonna assume it's probably some kind of like sweet candy confection or something like that, like I don't know, like the on the Hostess cakes, the round white swirl that's on there. They got a yellow swirl on these corn dogs, and they're on a stick. Pop, what are they? Pop Bar, $2. If you guys eat one or get one, text me or email me anytime at deacon@prophetradio.com. I'd love to see it, and we'll put it up on the very next podcast of you eating it, and you can be famous. Or mocked or disgusted by. Now, someone who's really celebrating their time right now is a company that used to be called, or was going to be called at one time, Kibble. I'm talking about Netflix. Netflix is celebrating 25-year anniversary this past Monday by sharing fun facts about the company, which transformed the entertainment industry for all of our lives. Many of us remember after the launch in 1997. 97? Is that 25 years? It provided rental DVDs to subscribers through the mail. I don't know. Sometimes I don't think that math is right. But anyways, within a decade, the ever-expanding services introduced streaming media. Maybe it's a streaming platform. There you go. After a decade. And the videos on demand. A few years later, Netflix began creating its own content, debuting its very first series, the political drama House of Cards, in 2013. Now, a lot of people out there wonder what the first CD or DVD that was sent out. The first DVD Netflix ever shipped was Beetlejuice, Tim Burton's 1988 comedy starring Michael Keaton and Alec Baldwin, Gina Davis, and Catherine O'Hara and Winona Ryder. Netflix mailed the movie on March 10th, 1998. Netflix originally had a placeholder by the name of Kibble, like I said before. The sound, that ta-dum sound that you normally heard, if it was going to be called Kibble, it was going to be a bleeding goat noise for some reason. The service's early envelopes were actually white, not red, and most popular profile pic around the world right now is the Boss Baby icon. So like when they say, you know, what do you want your icon to be? The Boss Baby icon is the number one right now with 11 million profiles opted. The show Netflix with the most on my list ads is the series Money Heist, which is in a different language and stuff, so I have a hard time getting to that. So there you go, Netflix, 25 years of streaming, I guess not the whole entire base of the company, but 25 years of streaming. That's impressive. They changed the whole thing. They figured out how to do it. Of course, they were ahead of the time because technology had to catch up to them. You know, hey, we're having this movie stream platform, and whoever had the fastest internet was getting those customers. So now you're dealing with mergers of companies and you know, AT&T Wireless goes to I forget all the different ones that they go to, but now, you know, you've got Verizon and all the other, they want you to stream faster. That's all they advertise. You know, we stream faster. The Stream Wars. Now, one of the wars that we're having right now is people debating whether global warming and global climate change and all that stuff is affecting us. Oh, it gets hotter some days, and then it snows, and then we had what out there in, I forget what state it was in, where they had softball-size hail that came down and was bashing in people's cars and stuff. Actually, a child died, got hit in the head, died out there a couple days ago when that softball hailstorm came through. Now, in Philadelphia, as the heat wave continues, doctors are warning people about potential dangers that they might not be aware of. Because of the heat wave, you might get more kidney stones than normal people in the world. Not just Philadelphia. Already more than I swear to God. Already more than half of the people end up in the emergency departments every year because of the painful kidney stones that doctors are expecting to see more. Even with the continued heat wave and the temperatures in the 90s, the bikers and bladders are still out on Columbus Boulevard. That's so stupid. God, who writes these things? Among potential medical issues related to the hot weather is the increased fact of kidney stones. On a scale of 1 to 10, 9 or 10 is probably bad. This young lady said, I would it's a 10. Every time I get a kidney stone, it is a 10 as far as pain. I would rather have childbirth at a 6 than have kidney stones at a 10. We discovered that the risk of presenting with stone... We did discover that the risk of presenting with a stone after high heat days is greater in men than women. An estimated 1 in 10 people will have kidney stones in their life. Doctors say that the link to the heat is related to people getting dehydrated. So when this happens, your urine drops. As your urine drops, a lot of those materials or minerals that are existing in your urine, such as calcium, oxalate, phosphorus, become more concentrated. So when it becomes more concentrated, the urine becomes more supersaturated, meaning that the stones are more likely to form. So what do they always say? Drink plenty of water, drink plenty of water. He says that kidney stones can be caused by various issues, including genetics and having become an epidemic. He also thinks that the trend will continue because of the weather. Climate change is expected to cause catastrophic events in terms of extreme weather and events, infectious diseases with health and humans as well. Hotter days, I guess things travel faster. The history of kidney stones is following the Tawana Atkinson, who has kidney stones, is following the doctor's advice and drinking lots of water on these hot summer days. 2 gallons in the course of a day. I try to get a little extra in there as well, she says. So the doctors say drinking plenty of water is one of the best ways to prevent summertime kidney stones. Gross. Also, once you've had kidney stones, there's a 50% chance of developing another one within the next 5 years. So if you've had it before, you're not out of the woods yet. You're going to get it again. So the rising temperature, drink lots of fluids out there. You don't want your pee to be saturated with calcium glyphosate or whatever I said before. And it'll all collect in your kidneys, and then boom, you got stones. All right, guys, stick around when we come back. I'm going to pay you $5,000 to eat cereal for dinner. You want to find out how? Hopefully all the slots aren't taken. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Don't forget, we broadcast just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, a beautiful little town we like to call Marshville. We sit on about 22 some odd acres. We have horses, we have chickens, we have cattle, we have cats, dogs, chickens. Did I say chickens? Did I say horses? Oh, horses are the main thing that are out there running around. And goats and whatnot. Now and then I get the neighbors' kids come over and go, what are you doing? I'm like, chopping down the tree. Oh, I knew that. Then why'd you ask? They're 4 or 5 years old. They don't know any better. Literally, do not know any better. Watch out. The tree's going to fall on your head. I'm okay. No, get out of the way. Get out of the way. Now, we got a 3-day work week or a 3-day holiday weekend coming up. I say holiday weekend. Is it Labor Day? I think it's Labor Day this weekend coming up. And cinemas out there are wanting you to come back in their theaters. Now that the ban's been lifted, we haven't talked about the coronavirus for a very long time. Mask on, mask off, and we're all doing all right. I'm doing all right. I haven't been vaccinated. I haven't had any boosters. Now, granted, I did take precautions about standing away from people. I don't let people spit in my mouth. I didn't tongue kiss anyone that I wasn't supposed to tongue kiss. There's only one person I tongue kiss. That's my wife. But anyone else, I don't let them get too close to me. I was actually standing in line buying something the other day at the local feed store. And you know how they have the little footprints on the ground, 6 feet apart or whatever. I'm standing in line and get ready to pay. And I felt someone come up behind me, and I turn around, and he was literally like, if I was to take my elbow and swing it around, I would have knocked him in the jaw. He was standing right behind me. I looked at him kind of like, and he was a young guy. I say young guy. He's probably early 30s. And I go, dude? He goes, oh. And kind of looked at me like, like shook his head like, what? I'm like, you're like up my ass. Not only, you're not 6 feet apart. Not that I care, but you're up my fucking ass. Get off my ass. If I had $1, right? Well, right now, these people want you to be up their ass, and that's your local movie theaters and cinema locations. National Cinema Day is September 3rd, and tickets across the country will be only $3 for every movie. Every movie, $3 for one movie. You're going to watch them all because you're not going to leave the theater. You're going to bounce in between. And that's a fraction of the national average ticket price, which is $9.17. Is that all it is? $9.17? Well, I guess if it's you got 4 kids, that's $40 right there almost with tax and everything. The Cinema Foundation, donor-supported nonprofit, announced that the markdown of the holiday celebrates the summer of record-breaker movie going. The one-day event will be held in 3,000 participating locations, over 30,000 screens. Will bring together audiences of all ages to enjoy the day of movies. And then the next day, highest rate of monkeypox all through, super spreader event. Go on out there. I'm kidding. It doesn't work that way, but just be careful out there. I mean, I'm still a little leery. My wife and I are talking about doing something for the big 5-0 this coming January. And I'm kind of like, well, let's see how everything else plays out. I don't mind going and doing all this stuff. I just don't want to be, I don't know. I'm a little leery about doing that. So we'll find out what happens there. Hopefully everything will get better and everyone will calm down by that time. And when I say calm down, there's nothing out there that we need to worry about. Right now, they're freaking everyone out about monkeypox. They're freaking everyone out about the Omicron, Omegatron variants that's out there. I can't keep up with it. I need some kind of graph or some kind of chart to follow all this stuff out. Now, a chart right now, if you got one in front of you, when I say chart, I mean calendar. This woman shares a hack to have 10 days off during the holiday Christmas this year. Another TikToker warns workers do not do it. So, like, for instance, this holiday weekend coming up, it's a 3-day holiday weekend. So you technically can only use 4 PTO days, Tuesday through Friday, because you already have Monday off, or figure out some way to have, work all the way to Wednesday, take Thursday, Friday, have Saturday, Sunday off. If you work a Monday through Friday type job, have Monday off and then throw one more day on there Tuesday. You get a 6-day weekend, only using 3 days, right? Bonus. I always try to do a half day on the day before I have to go on vacation somewhere. So I do like a half day on Wednesday, take Thursday, Friday. Anyways, enough about my business. But right now, as people are finally taking opportunities to unwind from their daily tasks, one question pops up in many people's minds. When's the best time to take a leave of office? Well, this very topic is the heart of a heated debate that recently swept through TikTok. Of course, everything goes through TikTok because no one else knows how to talk to each other. It all started when TikToker Chelsea posted a video where she urges workers to schedule their PTO for the holidays, claiming that people can snag a 10-day vacation for just 4 days of PTO. Immediately, the platform erupted with reactions ranging from kudos to appreciations to rejections. It didn't take long for another content creator, Dillan, to criticize. Fucking Dillan ruins everything for everybody. We forgot to ask for homework. Fuck you, Dillan. Criticizing her advice that warns workers against doing this. Scroll down and read what he had to say about the topic. So here you go. If you go, let's see. So if you're looking at a calendar, I guess this is just for this year, right? All right, so this is what Chelsea has to say. If you have not planned your holiday PTO for this year, chances are, by the way, if you don't get it in soon, January 1st, people are already putting in PTO for the next following holiday. I mean, not for the next following December. When I was a manager of a large establishment, I wouldn't let people put PTO only for 30 days in advance. No, I'm sorry. That's not true. 3 months in advance. They couldn't put any PTO unless it was 3 months in advance because you don't know what's going to change in the atmosphere and what's going on. So right here, this is what she says. If you have not planned your PTO for this year, I'm going to need you to listen up. Are you listening up? Yes, I am. Dylan, pay attention. This year, Christmas falls on a Sunday, which means that the federal holiday is celebrated on the Monday. So it's a floating holiday is what they say. So you will have Monday off you will have the Monday, the 22nd off from work, right? The rest of the week, Jesus Christ. The rest of the week, it'll just be the 27th, 28th, and 29th. So that's a 4-day work week. And then we all know what happens during this week between Christmas and New Year's. No one works. So you should be really taking that time off. Anyways, I also feel like companies should be giving this time off, but that's a whole nother discussion. So anyways, for the next week, New Year's Day falls on a Sunday, which means that the holiday is celebrated on the 2nd. So you will have to work. So you will have the Monday, the 2nd off from work as well. You only take the 27th, 28th, and 29th, and the 30th off. That's 4 PTO days, but you'll end up with a 10-day holiday work week, or a work 10-day holiday from the 24th all the way to the 22nd. You're welcome. Look, stupid. People who have PTO know exactly how to cheat the system. They spend times. There have been scriptures written about how to cheat the system with PTO. Like I was saying, if I'm going to do a 3-day holiday weekend, I'll do a Thursday, Friday, and then the following Tuesday, only using 3 days, and then half a day on the day before. So here's Dillan. Let's see what Dillan has to say.
Holiday from the 24th to the 2nd.
All right, so this is Dillan's response. So if you want to see this video, you can follow us on YouTube. And the way you do that is search for DeaconLive Podcast and like and subscribe. And you can see this video in real time as we're talking about it here. So here he goes. This is Dillan. Fucking asshole.
No. Do not do that. I mean, all due respect to this content creator. She just popped up on my For You page for the first time ever. I'm sorry to attack you, man, but that advice fucking sucks. Anybody who works a job, corporate, whatever, if you are dealing with PTO and HR, do not listen to HR when they tell you what they would suggest for the times that you take your PTO. In that video, she admits that nobody works in the days between Christmas and New Year's. Everybody knows it. Everyone recognizes it. She goes on to say that we all know that's the way it is, so you really should take your PTO on those days. Hard pass. Absolutely not.
Oh no.
First of all, if it's this time of the year and you still have PTO, you take the rest of your PTO and you enjoy your summertime. Then, between Christmas and New Year's, show up to work, do nothing. Say it with me. Rarely does HR have your best interest at heart.
So he's saying show up on those 4 days where you're not doing anything anyways and just kind of sit around and scroll through TikTok. I kind of agree with that, but if you got family coming into town, that would be a perfect 10-day break and you only use 4 days of PTO. Now, if you don't have family coming into town or you can get your Christmas and everything done over the weekend because it falls on a weekend, then by all means, like, you know, for example, when I was a younger lad, and if Christmas fell on the weekend, I would take, you know, one PTO day off. We'd spend, you know, Christmas Eve on one side of the family, Christmas Day on another side of the family, take Monday off because it was a floating holiday, and then I'd go back to work on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Nothing was really going on, so it was kind of like having time off anyway. You just kind of sat in the warehouse and twiddled your thumbs, and at the time we didn't have TikTok or anything, so you just played made-up games. You know, we had a basketball goal in the warehouse. We'd sit there and shoot hoops all day long, that type of stuff. And the manager would come out, aren't you guys supposed to be doing something? Yeah, as soon as orders comes in, we'll do everything. Fuck you, get back inside. That type deal. Now, if you're sitting around not doing anything right now, Kellogg's is offering to pay you $5,000. Now, it's not that easy. It's pretty strenuous, so what you actually have to do. What you have to do is change your whole entire routine as far as the way you eat. And you have to eat breakfast for dinner. I know. Everyone out there is freaking out. How? What? How do I do that? Kellogg's is announcing that it's launching a new sweepstakes that will see 5 lucky cereal. Oh, they should have. Does Kellogg's do Lucky Charms? I don't know. That might be someone else. They should have tied that in there. Lucky cereal eating fanatics will win $5,000 each. To enter and be considered for the competition, participants must post a picture of themselves eating cereal for dinner on Instagram. The cereal company wants to show that the meal can be enjoyed at any part during the day, not just morning for breakfast. Well, no shit. Cash winners won't only win a prize while enjoying a great meal, but they will also get a year's supply of Kellogg's cereal. Well, that's not bad. I mean, they got a couple brands out there, a couple things that I'd like to have, like Frosted Flakes to keep women from masturbating. One winner will also randomly be selected each week by the company to enter a pool. What? One winner will randomly select each week by the company and enter a pool will restart. I don't know what that means. Read the full terms, and I'm not reading the full terms. So there you go. If you want to win $5,000, take a picture of yourself. You don't have to take a picture of yourself eating breakfast for dinner. Just wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, change all the AMs to PM on your clock radios or whatever you got sitting around the house. Make sure it's dark out. Get yourself like you're normally eating breakfast. Take a picture. Oh, look at me. It's dinner time. You know, put pajamas on. I don't know how they can determine that. But there you go. So if you want to win $5,000, Kellogg's is giving away, plus a whole bunch of other stuff as well. All right, guys. Speaking of stuff as well, if your waitress has pigtails on, do you tip her more? Well, studies have found out if a girl wears pigtails, you end up tipping her a little bit more. Stick around. We'll get into that story as well. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. You want something for free? Of course you do. We will give you something for free, but you got to do something for me. You have to go over to Prophet Radio, Prophet Radio. Click on the little banner. I'm sorry, the little tab says free swag. That's all you have to do. See how easy that is? Click on that. Opens up a thing. You can see all the different magnets and stickers that we have for you. Just click on one of those. Fill out the little form. All we need is your address so we can send it to you. That's how easy it is. We're not going to do anything with it. Believe me, we got enough shit going on here with everything going on here in the studio. I don't have enough team of people to sit there and do anything with your email address or anything like that. We're just going to say thank you. That's all we do. It's as simple as that. Thank you for listening to us, and we'll send you out some free stuff. Now, for those overseas, of course, like I said before, we only ship out once a month, so yours might take a little bit longer, but you'll still get it out there, so make sure you fill out that form as well with all the appropriate numbers, U.S. codes, or overseas codes. Make sure it gets to the right location. Now, if you like, if eating cereal is not your thing, you don't want to make $5,000, but drinking's your thing, well, guess what? If you've ever had Anheuser-Busch, what are they, Ritas, something like that, you might be able to have or make some money. A Missouri federal judge has approved a settlement to proceed involving several customers and Anheuser-Busch, allowing the beer and wine megalith to reimburse those who said they were deceived by the company's packaging of its Ritas products into believing the product actually contained alcohol other than beer. The class action lawsuit at Browning versus Anheuser-Busch was initially filed on September 11th of 2020 because nothing else was going on that day in the U.S. District Court of Southern New York. The alleged violations for false advertising laws for the impression that Rita products distributed by Anheuser-Busch contain certain distilled spirits or wine when they did not. Essentially, the case is out to prove that the name Lime Rita, for instance, is misleading because traditionally a margarita contains tequila or other spirits. Since Rita's products only contain beer with fruit flavors, the plaintiff says it was a case of false advertising. Okay, let's get something straight here. I'm sure somewhere on the packaging says does not contain or does contain one or the other. For example, it might say, I don't know, I've never drank them before. My wife, I'm like, babe, you want one of these? She's like, no, there's too much sugar in them. If you read them, yeah, there's a lot of sugar in those things. I'm sure it says only contains beer or does not contain any outside alcohol, tequila, or anything like that. This is a beer-based product. Now, I know I've worked in many bars throughout my life, DJing and being the center of attention for the most part. And I'm not really. It's just being the DJ at some nightclubs. And I know I worked at some beer and wine establishments. That's all they were allowed to have. And anytime someone would come in and ask for a shot, the bartender would have to say, we only have wine-based liquors. And people would go, well, what's that? Wine-based tequila, wine-based whiskey, wine-based rum, and wine-based, I don't know, I don't think we had scotch. Wine-based vodka is what we had. So, yeah, give me that. You get drunk enough, they all taste the same, right? Hangover is a little bit different, but for the most part. So if you're drinking lime ritas from Budweiser, thinking that there's tequila or something in there, I mean, how do the store brand stuff? Hold on, let me backtrack. I have bought Margaritaville big glass thing. Hold on, I'm gonna go out there and find one and see what it says on it because I bought this at the grocery store. Hold on. All right, in my hand. In my hand, prime example. I have Gloria, Rancho de la Gloria, margarita mix. Not margarita, margarita. Ready to serve. Oh, I gotta turn this light. Is that gonna blow everything? I'll do this light. If you're looking here, this is it on the camera. So there you go. It says right here, margarita in black, bold, and then in lighter font, wine cocktails. 100% agave wine. So there you go. Margarita right here, normally made with normally made with tequila and stuff. Right here says wine, right there and right there. So, put that over there so I don't drink it all. Put it over there so I don't drink it all. But yeah, I mean, that's what they're saying, that the Rita brand Budweiser is misleading. Bullshit. It says on there somewhere. I know it does. So let's find out what else is going on. The case claims that several different points of... I know. I got so excited. The case also claims that several different points over the course of 2019 through 2020 led plaintiffs Megan Browning and Alan Kersling, something like that, were allegedly enticed to purchase very Anheuser-Busch Rita products, thinking that they also contain these items, and they did not. Plaintiffs said that they never, quote unquote, never saw the disclaimer on the purchased products' true contents. Both alleged that they relied on what the product says. They imply they were according to understanding, which caused them to falsely believe that the margarita products contain tequila and wine products contain wine. No, what's her name again? Megan Browning and your stupid ass Alan Kersling boyfriend, you're retarded. You're dumb. You're stupid. Plaintiffs also allege that the suit used the terms margarita, mojito, sangria, and rose to mislead the reasonable customer into believing that respective products contain either rum, tequila, or wine, adding these products prospectively packaged contain a combination of misleading images and language such as sparkling glass cocktail. All right, listen. What's her name again? Megan and... Where are they at? Megan and Alan. Let me explain something to you. First of all, if you drink any kind of alcoholic beverages, right? When you're 21, you learn the rules and laws and what is sold where and where is sold when, right? So I know I born and raised in Orlando, Florida, downtown Orlando, Florida. So you had the city of Orlando, you had unincorporated Orange County, Orlando as well. So if you wanted to buy beer on Sunday, you had to go outside the Orlando city limits to buy beer in the same town that considers itself Orlando. All right. So when you go to a grocery store and they don't have a full liquor aisle or that full liquor is completely separate from the building, there's a reason why. You have to learn these rules. You have to learn these things. Like, you're not going to walk into Walmart and go, oh, look, they sell beer ritas. They must have tequila in them. No, that's not how it works. You have to understand the laws and the rules of how alcohol sales are done. So what do they say? Ignorance of the law is not proof of innocence. Because you do not know or understand that they are not allowed. Walmart's not going to sell tequila-based products because they can't. They can sell wine-based products. They can sell beer-based products. They can't do alcohol, especially here in North Carolina. All full liquor alcohol sales has to go through ABC. Something Beverage of the Carolinas, Association of Beverages of the Carolinas. That's what ABC stands for here, not down in all the other places. But you are ignorant. That's what I'm going to say. You are ignorant. And I'm going to stand on that ground right there. Because everyone out there who knows, who drinks any kind of beverage, don't say that it's misleading. Because you don't know. I'll stand on that. I'll stand on that all day long. Now, something that, with kids going back to school, when the kids are starting to go back to school, parents are now standing on who's teaching their kid, especially elementary school kids and teachers. So earlier this month, a parent on Twitter with a sizable following, of course, she's probably got a mommy blog or something stupid and gay like that, shared something that she had done that struck on many apps as a bit of a parental overreach, right? This is a parental overreach is what they're saying. My son's second grade teacher I got my second grade teacher assignment, and immediately I found all of her social networks. The mom tweeted out before revealing what her investigation had found. Leave people alone, really. So what she found out is that her son's teacher, this is her first year of teaching. Okay, great. Congratulations. She's working into the workforce here. Second, this is what is the lady? Who's the lady right here? Does it say? See, they won't give her name. Let's see if we can find her name. Oh, God. This is... Her name is Melissa Fent, MELISSAFENT, on the Hilly Fent. Okay, so already there's some just shenanigans going on there. But here's the thing. So the second thing is that she found on her son's second grade teacher. Oh, wait. No, sorry. Take that back. So let me see if I can find the Twitter. No, I'm not going to find it. So from the Twitter account, Awkward Enabled, she says, that's her Twitter handle. This is what she says. Got my son's second grade teacher assignment and immediately found her on all her socials. First of all, one, this is her first year of teaching. Great. Second of all, she has a video where she and her friends call themselves Trader Joe Hoes. Okay. Did she do that in front of the child? No. Third, she spells makes, M-A-K-E-S, like this, M-A-X-E. Makes. Like Maxie. Makes. Some moms and dads came to the woman's defense. I check my kids' teachers on socials too, looking for closet pervs and racists, not going to apologize for prioritizing my child's safety first, but some above prioritizing my child's safety first comes above a stranger's priority. Others came to defense of the poor first year's teachers. First year's teachers are some of the most eager teachers your kid will ever have. Comically, one teacher admitted she does the same thing at the beginning of the school year with only the parents. I'm not going to lie. I love looking through your parents' social pages as well. Gives me a heads up of what's going to happen this year. Small town bonuses. Somebody in the faculty staff already knows them from years back. So you're getting the same thing on the other side. But largely the mom who tweeted the tale got mocked. She later deleted the tweet and played it off as a joke, and no doubt tired of the Twitter's main character being the main character of the day. So as one person joked, I'd like to cyberstalk unpaid public employees with unsurmountable student loans debt for existing outside of the workplace. So this mom, okay, let me explain a couple things to you. Teachers are humans. They're just like you and me. And I know they're in charge of your kids, they're in charge of their students and everything, but you'd be surprised before the whole network as far as the internet and stuff. I know that a lot of my teachers were waiting tables. They were bartenders. They were doormen. They were doing all this extra stuff at the end of the day. Now, granted, this teacher right here wasn't doing anything like that. The worst thing that she did was misspell makes and then called herself and her girlfriend Trader Joe Hose. That is minute compared to what a lot of teachers actually do just to try to make ends meet, just to try to pay for the stupid fucking crayons that your kids are snapping off and throwing at each other because the school board doesn't give them any kind of funding or anything. So shut up. Lay off of them. Yes, by all means, search them out. Make sure they're not some kind of, pedophile or anything like that, like the one father said. But for the most part, relax. Now, I know if you listen to past shows from many years ago, I had a gentleman by the name of Teacher Man. That was my father-in-law. He was a teacher for many, many years. And he didn't have any Facebook page. He didn't have anything until he retired with his tenure and then got on Facebook because he wanted to know and follow all his students. And all his students would praise him and see how they're doing. And it was great to see how he created these minds, from 6th grade on, molded these minds, and they all came back to him and had just the nicest thing. Hey, you were my favorite teacher, Mr. K. You did all this stuff. You were the best thing. You had the biggest impact on me. And for something like that to happen, once you graduate or once you retire from schooling or teaching from schools, that's the best thing you can have. Who knows what these teachers are doing now as far as maybe there's a work assignment or maybe they need to reach out to you. Maybe they're reaching out to the teachers because you're the parent or doing something wrong on your end. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. It's a different world out there, so it's not the same world that you grew up in, so take it as a grain of salt and make sure that you're just doing the best for your child as well. Leave the teachers alone. Let her strip at the clubs. All right, guys, when we come back, I got one more little short segment to get into, and we'll let you get on to getting back to what you got to do. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Make sure you follow us on all your social networks. And if you have any questions or anything for me, you can email me at any time at deacon@prophetradio.com. I'd love to talk to you. I'd love to work some things out with you if you have any problems with anything I have to say, or if you would like to be on the show and express your angers or satisfaction on some stuff. We'd love to hear from you as well. And the way you do that is go to Prophet Radio, PROPHET Radio. Click on Be Heard, and we'd love to hear from you, your ideas, your concerns, any kind of thoughts that you might have according to this show as well, or anything we've talked about, any of the content that we've talked about here in the last couple of weeks or so. Now, I teased this earlier about the waitresses having pigtails and whether they're getting bigger tips or not. So if you want to see this video, I'm going to play this right now. I'll go ahead and get into this real quick. So here we go. And don't forget, if you'd like to see this, for every podcast we do, we have a matching video as well. And you can see this on our screen right here as we're talking about it here live on the air. So here we go.
A new social experiment is making the rounds on TikTok, unveiling an uncomfortable reality in the service industry. It's called the pigtail experiment, where women style their hairs into pigtails to get more tips while serving customers. This leads to a lot of questions, including the big question, why does a simple change in hairstyle lead to more cash? NBC News youth and internet culture reporter Callan Rosenblatt joins us now for more of her story, which is on NBCnews.com. Callan, good morning. So walk us through some of these TikToks. What is it they show, and what did some of these women find when putting their hair in pigtails?
Good morning, Joe. The videos are very straightforward. It shows women like Lisa Sterling, who's a server, or Veronica Portillo, who is a dancer, basically saying, I've heard that at work, if you wear pigtails, you make more tips, so I'm going to try this. Now, I've talked to both women. Lisa told me that when she wore pigtails, she made 2.5% more than she did when she wore her hair down. And Veronica told me that on a slow Sunday night, she would typically make about $100. She wore pigtails in her hair, and she made $600 that night. A dramatic increase just by changing her hairstyle.
So 6 times as much?
6 times as much. It is a massive increase. She had also on a slow Wednesday night, she also made a dramatic increase, $700 when she usually make around $200.
All right, so let's delve into some of why this is, and it's a bit of an adult conversation, but some of the women who shared the results on social media say it underlines a schoolgirl fetish among men. Talk more about where these comments stem from, and are there other examples in pop culture to support those claims?
Absolutely. I mean, Joe, as you mentioned, it is a little seedy, the reason that this works. The women told me that if men are going to, be sort of creepy at their jobs and fetishize them at their jobs, that they might as well make a little extra money off of it. And that was their thought process. Now, we see this in pop culture a lot. And the seedy thing about it is we see this in pop culture a lot in young women. We see cartoons like the Powerpuff Girls and even like Boo from Pixar's Monsters, Inc., all wearing pigtails, all sort of denoting a younger age. And women like Veronica said that men at her job as a dancer at a strip club came up to her and made a lot of comments about those pigtails and being, a sort of fantasy of theirs. So, Veronica telling me, I don't think that this is a children's hairstyle anymore. And if you're going to put your, young daughter's hair in pigtails, you really have to think about the way men are perceiving it. And it's kind of a sad statement on, how this hairstyle is perceived. But she said she won't be putting her daughter's hair in pigtails because of the way men reacted at her job.
Yeah, Callan, so we have less than a minute here, but this creates kind of a bit of a quandary for women. Do they make more money doing this knowing why some people are tipping them more, or do they say, no, I'm not going to do this, even if it means making less money?
What they told me is that they experience creepy men at their job. They experience being hit on, having derogatory comments made at them. And they said, if we could make more money, we have bills to pay, we're going to do what we can to make more money. So in their mind, it's really about making sure their children are fed, making sure that they're making the most money that they can and getting their bills paid. So ultimately, that is the main factor in their mind as to why they're wearing this hairstyle.
Certainly an eye-opening conversation. Callan Rosenblatt, thanks for joining us. We appreciate your reporting.
So pigtails on, of course, strip clubs. I mean, I can understand that. I spent a couple years working in the strip club as a DJ, and I'd seen all the tricks in the trade, looking younger and all that stuff. But what about your waitress at, like Cracker Barrel, or your waitress over at, anywhere where there's a tip monetary value assigned to the whoever's serving you and stuff? I would see that. Now, granted, I know that there's some women out there in professional sports. For example, MMA. You see them do their hair in the ponytails, and they have to come, down to the left and down to the right because their hair is so long. Anyways, if they had one big ponytail on the back of their neck, that's kind of waiting in on them. I don't know. But I've seen, professional athletes that do the pigtails and stuff, and it's not part of any kind of sexual thing. It's just to get their hair out of their way in a manageable, compliant condition to where they can perform in the sport that they're doing right now. Now, something I would love to say as a side note, I have bought a new camera here. You can see me right here. Hello. I purchased some stuff. I always purchase stuff from Amazon. I purchase stuff from a lot of other different companies. I came across this company called Sweetwater. I might have said them something about them before. Sweetwater, I have nothing but good news. Now, they're not an advertiser of the show. I just wanted you guys to know about this company. Now, they're pretty close in price as far as they might be 50 cents higher, 50 cents lower, depending on the product. Let's say 0.1% higher in the product that you're looking for. The reason why I like Sweetwater is because, one, as soon as my order is placed, they say blank, let's say Jonathan Johns. Let's say Daryl Smith is my account representative. All right, cool. Got my product. Everything came in. Daryl Smith calls me and says, hey, hey, I saw you got your order. Did everything come all right? Is everything good? Is everything? I'm like, well, yeah. And I just ordered this small little Logitech camera from them. But every time I've ordered something from them, they've always called and followed up, whether it be $100 item, whether it be a $700 item, whether it be a $1,000 item, or these $20 headphones that I have on my head. They've always called and said and checked on me. That's customer service. I just want to say, I don't think Daryl Smith is wearing ponytails or anything like that, but he is doing well in my book. And Sweetwater, if you ever want to have confidence in buying something, buy something from sweetwater.com. Now, you want to have confidence in your money? Well, let's get to this because I was all wrapped up in the other thing. People are giving Matt Damon a hard time right now as far as doing the whole cryptocurrency commercial, and then he got paid in regular cash, and people are going, well, why don't you get paid in cryptocurrency? And he's like, 'cause I don't want cryptocurrency because it's not really backed by anything. Well, guess what? Cryptocurrency itself accidentally sent a woman $10 million instead of $100, and she went out and bought a mansion. Oops. Where am I at? Here I am. Cryptocurrency exchange, Crypto.com, mistakenly deposited $10.5 million directly into a woman's bank account when the platform intended to only give her a $100 refund. According to News 7 in Australia, Melbourne, a woman received a giant paycheck back in May of 2021, and several months later, Crypto.com discovered the error. Tough shit. It's cryptocurrency. Can't follow it, can't trace it. Cash it out. I'm out of here. Extraordinarily, the plaintiffs alleged did not really realize the significance of the error until some 7 months later in December of 2021. The woman, oh God, Therva Manavil is being sued by crypto giant for its money back. The only problem is it has already been spent. Manavil used $1.35 million of the funds purchased a 5-bedroom house for his sister in Craigieburg, C-R-A-I-G-I-E, Craigieburg, Australia. Crypto.com has since taken legal action against both sisters, and the luxury home has been ordered to be sold, although other legal proceedings regarding the situations are scheduled to resume in October, this reporter says. According to the news, Crypto.com representative told Decrypt a situation is currently before the courts and would not be offered anything. Well, guess what? That's the whole thing about cryptocurrency. You give me crypto money and there's no way that it can be traced or followed or anything like that because it's just shifting numbers around. So who's to say that she didn't get the $10 million from whatever in her wallet? Isn't that at this time hearsay? Now, speaking of hearsay, for those of you who don't know, there is something called the public domain. When I say public domain, as far as entertainment, it talks about songs, it talks about IPs, intellectual properties. It talks about all the stuff that if it's 100 years old, you can't hold a license to it anymore. There's a reason why high school, junior high, any kind of theater production does a lot of Shakespeare because it's all free reign. It's all public domain. They can get that and do whatever. There's also songs that come out that as long as they're 100 years old, you don't have to pay any kind of fees for them. So 100 years ago today would have been 1922. So anything that was made after 1922 is now public domain. Well, one thing that Disney didn't count on, and this filmmaker did, was Winnie the Pooh now hit that public domain territory. So that means Winnie the Pooh, the story of Christian Robinson, and Winnie the Pooh, Eeyore, and Piglet, and all them are now public domain. So you can do whatever you want with them. You can make them, happy. You can make them sad. You can do whatever. You can use it. You can take the pictures and photos. I don't know if the actual drawings are public domain, but the story itself, the intellectual property, is public domain. So So when A.A. Milne's classic poo stories lapsed in the public domain earlier this year, we figured out some sort of desecration was in order. And that's what's happening. Remember the good old days where the scariest thing about Winnie the Pooh was that he doesn't wear pants? Well, get ready for your childhood to get mass murdered. In the trailer for the much anticipated horror flick, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, has dropped. It has plenty of the latter. This trailer, which is appropriately not for the heavy-handed, tracks its classic lullaby jingle, features grown-up Christopher Robbins, not Christopher whatever I said before, Christopher Robbins wandering back to the 100-acre woods with his fiancée in search for his childhood pals. When he finds out that the feral Pooh and Piglet, there is a feral Pooh, I'm sorry, but what he finds out is a feral Pooh and Piglet who have killed and eaten some of the woodland friends. With a thirst for blood after being abandoned by Robbins when he left off to go to college, and you thought student loans were the determining of higher education. So if you want to see this video, now's your chance to jump on over to ProfitRadio.com, click on social contacts, make sure you follow us on YouTube, subscribe out there, and you can see this video in real time as we're talking about it right now. So here we go. Here's the actual video of what's going on here.
You know, you're the first person I ever shown this place to.
And why am I so special?
Because soon we'll be Christopher and Mary Robin. We should be close now.
We're not going to find them.
We will. Pooh, Piglet, Eeyore, we were friends for many years, and they're out there.
So they're walking through the woods, the beloved childhood characters.
Christopher?
And there's a little thing that says, Eeyore, rest in peace. And there's like a skull or something on the
thing there. We need to leave. Now.
Come on, Christopher.
Find out what's happening there, okay?
They've been abandoned by Christopher Robin. Ooh, spooky. Oh! That was Winnie the Pooh. They have turned to wild.
This place is kind of cold. Did you say it has a pool?
No. There's the bikini scene.
We need to go. There's...
Get out is written in blood on the thing.
There's someone else outside.
There's somebody outside.
What was that?
It's Piglet. There's Pooh. Oh, blood all over the place. Ooh, hit her in the head with a sledgehammer.
To be friends, why are you doing this, please? I would have never left, I swear, I swear.
Running through the woods. Everyone's covered in blood. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. As they stand over the barrel, putting honey and blood into the barrel and start eating it. All right, there you go. So that's Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, coming out here shortly because of the public domain law. So enjoy that out there, kiddies. All right, guys. We're going to let you get back to what you got to do. We appreciate each and every one of you for listening to us, downloading us, doing all the stuff that connects us to you and you to us as well. Make sure you follow us on YouTube. Make sure you follow us on all your social networks and all your podcast catchers out there. Make sure you like and subscribe and share us as well. We're going to let you get back to what you got to do. My name is the Deacon saying good night and good night.
Wait! Come back!
This is the end. The absolute end.
Écoute-moi.
I got a pee so bad. Thanks, guys.